Right, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today is a bit of a different one. I wanted to do something a bit more like getting to know me, sort of. So I've found a tag. I wasn't tagged in this tag, but I found it and I thought, well, it has to start somewhere. So I've wrote out all the questions from the tag. I'm going to do the tag myself, and then I'm going to tag a few people in this tag at the end, and hopefully get the ball rolling, and some people will do that, and I thought that'd be quite cool. So this is just general, more of like about me and my plants rather than about me and my personal life, in case any of you are wondering whether this was going to bore you. So there's 10 questions. I was thinking about adding a couple on the end, but the 10 questions filled up my paper, so I just left it there. So question number 1 is when did you first get into houseplants? So houseplants, I only got into them I only got into them properly last year, around spring last year. But I have been keeping plants in my house for years, ever since I was little. So, but I'd say last year was when I properly got into houseplants. Question 2 is, what is your oldest houseplant? Now, I did have a cactus from when I was really little, and unfortunately that died, I think that was about a year ago that died, which is annoying now that I think about it. I wish I just kept it alive, to continue through. But since then, my oldest houseplant is, I think it's only between 2 and 3 years, so it's not old at all. And it's an aloe. It's the one that I've never really shown properly in my videos because it's been in the window, so I got it out now, and yes, I did get loads of the Opuntia spikes in me, so hopefully it was worth it. But I'll bring it up now. It's quite heavy. I haven't watered this, so I kept this in my greenhouse all summer, and I gave it water whilst it's in the greenhouse, but I haven't watered it since I brought it back in. And that's why it's got the little bits of brown, but that's completely fine. That's the Opuntia that I was talking about, that I'm still meaning to get rid of or give away. If anyone would take that off me, I'm not sure. But this is just in this big wooden tub, and I've had that for two to 3 years, and there's loads of pups up this side. It looks really nice, actually. It does look really cool in there. It's very established. This is actually the back, so if I should turn this around without getting absolutely pricked. Right, there we go. So it does have a lot of other cacti in it, and that's actually it does look really pretty. And that cacti there is flowering. I don't know if you can see that very well. But yeah, I've never shown this on my channel. I don't know why, because it's really pretty. My favourite in this is that blue cacti in the middle, euphorbia. I'm going to assume it's a euphorbia, but I'm very not good. I'm not very good with with cacti names. Most of them that I have are just euphorbia, blah blah blah. So yeah, so that's my oldest houseplant. They're really big, really nice, and yeah, it's covered in spider webs, which I'm a little bit afraid of. I was just wondering whether I got that Opuntia on me. Right, I'm going to put that down before I get hurt. That's growing really nicely, and like I said, I keep it in my bedroom for the winter, and then it goes out into my greenhouse once the weather allows it to, and it just stays there, and it absolutely loves it. I'm really trying to get it to flower, so hopefully next year it will flower, because it's kind of having the cold and warm life processes, or I don't know. Right, question 3. Right, the first plant to kickstart my collection. I was trying to think about this, and I'm not really sure. I think this whole cactus display here, which they were all kind of in separate pots to begin with. I got 3 of them in a set from B&Q, the 3 tiny cacti you get, and the aloe I bought separately from B&Q. So I think all of that as a collective is what got me really into wanting more plants in my room, because originally I only kept cacti in here because I didn't really want anything too leafy. I don't know why, but I just kept cacti, and that was what got me into bringing more plants into my room, and then it's just absolutely rolled on from there. So question 4, what plant do you struggle keeping alive? Now, I was trying to think about this question, and I think this is it's a very interpretive question. So because most of the time when I kill a plant, I know why I've killed it, and it's because I kind of have lost the love for that particular plant, and I end up neglecting it or not watering it because I'm either like, it's mostly when I'm going through like exam periods, I will kind of stop my focus on my plants, and I will focus more on revision and my exams and stress. It sounds horrible, but what plant do I struggle to keep alive? One plant that I've kept years ago and never wanted to get it since was lithops, because they are for me, very difficult to keep alive. I'm sure that if you were to research it enough, you would, and understand when the right time to water them is, I'm sure they would be a bit easier to keep, but I am like traumatized by my previous experience, and I'd say that is the plant I struggle to keep alive. But I feel like I've kind of defeated myself in that and not allowed myself to experience it again. But for plants that I have now, I'd say my peperomia, piccolo banda. But I'd only say that because I underwatered it whilst going through my exams recently, and it dropped all of its leaves. But I know why it died, or it didn't die, but I know why it dropped all its leaves. So I don't know if that was a struggle. I wouldn't say it was a struggle because I know why and I knew how to prevent it. The struggle was with my exams, and that's what killed my plant. So we'll move on to the next question. Right, so question 5, what is the biggest mistake I have made with a plant? Probably has to be leaving it at the garden centre and not buying it and regretting it afterwards. But other than that answer, I'd say underwatering, because I'm definitely, a lot of people on YouTube, I hear them say like that, whether they're either overwaterers or underwaterers, and I'd say I'm definitely an underwaterer because most of my plants like to be dry between watering, and that's a safe bet that's a safe rule of thumb with a lot of houseplants. However, I do keep a lot of carnivorous plants which need to be constantly moist and constantly wet. But what was the question? What is the biggest mistake? No, what is the biggest... Wait. Yeah, the biggest mistake. Was that the question I was on? Underwatering, I'd say. Yeah, that was the question I was on. That was why I was talking about underwatering. And then number 6. So what is the most expensive plant I have ever bought, and is it still alive? Now, I am notoriously not skimpy with my money, but like, I don't like to spend a lot on a flashy plant just because it's like popular or flashy or like in flower. Like, so many plants are so expensive when they're in flower, and then you can get them cheaper when they're not in flower. Anyway, so I've not spent a lot on a plant. I think the most I've spent on a plant is, to what I could think of, was about £15. It was either 15 or 16 pound, and it was my Sansevieria Silver Flame. Yeah, and this is doing really well. It's sending up, I know I showed previously the pups, but they're really starting to come up properly now. So we've got that one, and then we have this little one in here, and this one is doing really well. It's growing a new leaf in there. You can just see the tip of it here. Very slow growing, the main plant, but the side shoots are growing relatively quickly. And I'd say this is my most expensive plant I have, because like, I have quite big plants like this Calathea orbifolia, but that was only £8 in IKEA. Whereas if I got that, it's dusty. If I got that in a garden centre, it probably would have cost me about 20. So I always hunt for the bargains, and I do impulse buy, but I only impulse buy small plants, so they don't ever really come out too expensive. So yeah, that is my most expensive plant, to my knowledge. So question 7, do you have a favourite genus that I am drawn to? Sorry, I'm struggling to read my own handwriting. At the moment, I'd say Sansevieria, because I'm constantly looking on like eBay and Etsy to see if I can get more types of varieties of Sansevieria. So definitely Sansevieria at the moment. I'm also really into Drosera or Drosera, however you'd like to say that. And at the moment, like it's more of a winter plant for me because I grow them in my propagator. So pygmy Droseras definitely are holding my interest right now. And other than that, I'd say they're the main two, really, and like Euphorbia, I suppose, cacti, like those types of cacti. So question 8, do you garden outdoors, and if so, do you grow edibles or flowers? Now, very little of you are gonna, well, I guess if you go back to my old videos you'll know this about me, but I am mainly into outdoor plants. I've only recently got properly into houseplants, and I have been studying plants. I've been studying horticulture since I was 16, and outdoor plants is my speciality. That's what I do. That's what I have more experience in. So I grow edibles, flowers, everything, herbs, veg, fruit, ornamental, tropical, everything. Like, I'm going to try and find some pictures of my garden, what it looked like this summer, because I changed the whole garden last year. Redid all of it, dug it all up, redid it all, put in a new fire pit area, put a new lawn down, a new water feature, a new little pond, and what else? And I've got my greenhouse, and yeah, I'll put up some pictures. I'm sure I can find some on. My phone, but the outdoors is really what I'm into most, and I'd never really put much on my account at the moment about the about my outdoor garden, but I think this year, let me know what you guys think, but this year I really want to do a lot more outdoor stuff as well. I'll keep my indoor plants videos too, because I really enjoy doing that, and it means I don't get cold outside and my neighbours can't hear me. But yeah, I'll definitely try to do some more outdoorsy videos this year, because that is what I'm most into. And then question 9, what is the coolest plant I have in my collection? Now, I think I'm taking these questions too literal, because whether like it may be cool to me and not cool to you, or different people's interpretations of cool is very different. So I think rather than trying to completely dissect this question, the coolest plant at the moment that I'm most excited about growing big, and I'm quite proud to have it in my collection, even though it's like not a relatively rare plant. I just really love it, and it brings me a lot of like happiness looking at it. So it is my variegated Ceropegia woodii, and it is very small. Yes, do not judge me for it. But this was the one that I got for £2.50 on eBay, and I am propagating it currently here. So, and I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a lot of roots growing in there. I'm propagating it this way, but I think I'm going to try and propagate it where you actually like cut the stem and place it under the soil surface, because I've seen a lot of people do that, and each node will grow a new shoot, whereas this will continue to grow from the apical like bud. So this is my coolest plant by my definition that I have at the moment, and I'm really excited to get that growing a lot more. I've only had this for a few months, I suppose, but you can see it's growing nice new shoots. This one's not really growing much new, apart from at the end, but then it lost, well no it hasn't, it's like a bit etiolated there because it's, well I've been keeping this in my propagator like under my grow light, so I don't know why it's etiolated that much, but yeah, that is number 9. And then number 10 is, what is the number 1 plant I want but do not have yet? This is going to be, I have a list of plants, like a wish list of plants on my phone, but my number one, I'd say, is the Euphorbia lactea, which is the white ghost Euphorbia cactus. I'll try and insert a picture here, like hopefully I don't get copyrighted for it, because it won't be my own image, so I'll have a think about that before I do it. And that is my number one, but they are very hard to come by, and I've found a few on eBay and Etsy, but they're either like cuttings this big for like 30 quid from Germany, or there's like one in central London that's this tall and it's £167. So they're very like hit and miss with finding those, and I've seen on Facebook groups a lot of people are looking for those, so I'm hoping to get my hands on one soon. But that's my number one, and I'll keep looking for that. Other than that, I'd like to get the more variegated Sansevierias as well. That's like up there in my list. But other than that, that is all the questions. I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to me talk. I'm going to tag a few people. I know I didn't get tagged in this myself, but I don't see myself getting tagged in anything anytime soon. So I'm going to tag 4 people. So I'm going to tag Stories and Succulents. It's me, Rebecca B, Carnivorous Plant Girl, and Emma Greenwood. If you don't want to do this tag, I will take no offence. There's no problem at all. I just thought that it would be interesting to see if anyone did want to do this, because then I at least give them the opportunity where they don't have to tag themselves. So all of you, I really enjoy watching your videos, and you are bringing out some really good content. And Stories and Succulents, I've really been enjoying I really enjoyed your Christmas videos, because you were uploading every day, and that was great. I missed that. Rebecca, your plants, like, you've got such amazing hanging plants, and your plants are so established that I'm envious. And then Carnivorous Plant Girl is my friend, and she has amazing carnivorous plants, which I am also jealous of, but she does share a few with me, so I appreciate that. And Emma Greenwood has a lot of really, really nice plants as well, and she hasn't uploaded a plant video in a while, so I'm trying to get her to do that, because I really miss that. But thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing your tag videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I know I didn't show too many plants, but that's what the tag was, I suppose. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.